Achievements.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hey, Mitch. Here we're starting. All right. Today we're going to talk about what is my motorcycle accident case worth. Welcome to a Mototalks with Mitch and Mel, brought to you by Proner and Proner, a law firm with a global presence and expertise that feels local and personal. I'm your host and fellow writer, Mel Maguyup, and we'll be sitting down with a personal injury expert and writer, Mitch Proner, a lawyer with over 30 years of experience to answer your questions and share insights you'll find useful in the personal injury world. Now, before we go on, please remember all consultations are free and confidential. Reach us at any time at 1-800-321-1234. How you doing, Mitch? Any riding again that you're doing?
So this weekend, I got a ride planned if the weather holds up. I used to, and I still do. If you're not going to ride with a chance of rain in the Northeast, you're never going to ride.
Yeah.
Because there's like a lot of riders out there. Some people ride only when it's nice weather. They get up and they look out, it's nice weather, right? But I do like point A to point B riding a lot, where I'm in another state and I got to get back. And so many times I've been on the road, and like I know people in cars, like I've seen that bike and it's just pouring rain, and they see this bike riding alone, and it's just pouring rain. It's raining cucumbers, and they see this rider and they think either what a poor guy, or they think what an idiot.
No.
I've been that idiot.
Wait, let me ask you this. In wintertime, do you have heated grips, or do you use heated gloves, or you just wear your regular gloves?
I know all about that. We're plugging them in. So here's the deal. I've even rode in the snow.
What?
Where, yeah, one time, this is a lawyer show. I don't think people want to hear this.
What's motorcycle lawyer stuff?
I'll get it real quick. So one time I was going up to see some clubs up in Rochester.
Right.
And I took a plane there. And as soon as I get to the airport in Rochester, the club had a guy pick me up, and he took me to their clubhouse. And they said to me, "Great news, Mitch. We got a bike for you. We're riding to a meeting."
Okay.
So I said, I just got a T-shirt under my leathers. It's jacket. It's cold, or I don't know what shirt. They said, "We'll give you a sweatshirt to put under." I said, "Great." I said, "I also need some gloves." And they said, "No problem." And they said, "We got a helmet for you too."
Okay.
And I said, "No problem." Now, I typically ride with a 3/4 helmet.
Good.
Fortunately, they had a full face for me.
Oh, I can't see you in a full face. I didn't know you wore those.
Because this was December in Rochester.
Yeah.
And so we start to ride, and we stop, and everybody takes off their helmets, and they're smoking cigarettes. And I go to take off my helmet. My hands are numb, so I can't do the clip. So they're all like hanging out, and I got this full face helmet on. I'm walking around like Darth Vader.
You couldn't get the D-ring off.
I said to one of the guys, I said to him, "Listen, brother," I said, "my hands are numb. I can't even do it. Could you undo my helmet for me?" He's like, "Sure." So
I'm crying.
I undo the helmet, and then we ride on. And then there's a meeting. I speak at the meeting 40 minutes, and then we're supposed to ride back. And one of the patch holders says to me, "Mitch, if you don't want to ride back, we understand. You could go in the support van. We'll have one of the prospects ride the bike back." And I was like, "No, I'm going to ride back. I'm not going to go in the support van while they all ride." I couldn't do that. But I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'd like to be in the support van. Matter of fact, you can leave me here. I'll get an Uber. But anyway, this is probably before the time of Uber. Anyhow, so we start to ride back, and sure enough, it starts snowing.
Oh,
and snowflakes are coming down like golf balls. And I just rode through it. You know, what are you going to do? But anyway.
Did they even salt, or you were riding?
No, it was just
Oh
riding
my
in the snow.
gosh, that's
Anyway,
awesome.
let me get to today's
All right, let's get
topic.
to it. I'm sorry, I had to ask.
Motorcycle accident values.
Yeah, let's get to it.
So I think I know more about the value of a motorcycle accident case than probably any attorney on the planet, because I have personally tried motorcycle accident cases in 30 different venues. I've handled motorcycle versus car, motorcycle versus truck, motorcycle versus bus, motorcycle versus motorcycle, roadway defect cases, roadway signage cases, uh, exploding gas tanks, failed to retract kickstands. I've handled just about every type of motorcycle accident case you can imagine. And that being said, I still don't know the value of a motorcycle accident case when I get it. And the reason why I say I don't know the value when I get it is because there's so many variables involved.
Right.
So first of all, first variable is how the crash happened. Now, it's very rare that my client and the person making the left turn in the car or running through the stop sign agree on how it happened.
Right.
But let's assume that I could prove that it's the other vehicle's fault 100%. The second thing is, typically when they hire me, they've just started their treatment. And I remember a guy came into my office once and he was a smart guy. He's fighting me for an hour. Tell me what it's worth. And I'm trying to tell him, your broken wrist, you don't know how that's going to heal. No, I know. It's 6 weeks in a cast. The doctor told me. Anyway, so we're back and forth about this. And I think at the end, figuring out what his likely lost earnings are. And I think I told him 120 grand. And he says, I'll take 60 if you could get it. And I said, hold off. It ended up he needed 2 more operations on the wrist. It never worked out. We ended up getting him over $1 million.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't know that was going to be his recovery. That's number one. So we don't know the details. Number two, same case. Let's suppose they offered 600,000, and I said to him, I think it's worth over $1 million. But there's a chance you only end up with 2 because you don't know what the jury's going to do.
Right.
Is he going to have the courage to go ahead and say, let's go ahead? Or is he going to say, take the 6? If he says, take the 6, I can't take the risk of ending up with 2. Well, then the case is worth 6 because that's what we settled it for. That's what he wanted. So I had a case on behalf of a biker in Connecticut, and before the trial, they offered nothing. We said we wanted 750. During the trial, they came up with 250. Now, we were demanding 750. They were offering 250. We could have said to them, we'll meet in the middle and settle it at 5. Probably would have been reasonable. But the client said to me, because this offer came during the trial, client said to me, what do you think? And I said, tell him no. Your decision, but I think we're going to do well with this jury. Now, I can't guarantee it Could end up with less than 250, but I think we go ahead. Client said, okay, I'm with you. I trusted you this far. Jury came back with 2 million.
Oh, wow.
But who's to say the case wasn't worth 500?
Right.
And if they settled it before the trial started, I probably would have told the client, take the 500. But once the trial started, now, that trial was going well. I've had other cases where I told the client, this jury doesn't like you. I'm not feeling it. We better get out of this with whatever money's on the table. Now, what is important is this. Number one, you get an attorney that's not afraid to try that case. Because if an attorney has a reputation for trying these difficult cases, because motorcycle cases are difficult cases to try. That's why I've been asked to lecture repeatedly around the country on how to handle a motorcycle accident case. Because not everybody can do it, because they're tough cases.
Right.
But when you get a reputation for trying these cases and winning these cases, well, then you know that the carriers know. And they're less likely to lowball me on an offer, because if I say no, I'll try it. It's different from them calling up and somebody says they want, their attorney says they want 200, and the carrier says we'll pay you 25, and they say, all right, well, will you pay 30? There's lawyers like that.
Right.
That are just looking to negotiate your case out for as much as they could get, and they don't have a number in mind. And then you're basically stuck with a lawyer that's, I'll tell you as much as I get the carrier to pay, and then that's it. And they'll call you up. No, that's a great offer. 30 is great for your case. Are you kidding? And the carriers know who they're dealing with. They know he'll never try it. And if he has to try it, he's going to give it out to some other attorney to try. And then he's got to give up half his fee to the attorney that's trying the case. And they know those economics. So there's lawyers that'll just move your case for a low number, but you're not likely to get what you deserve. So with me, at least, they know when I throw out a number, it's a real number.
Right.
And that I'm willing to back it up. Now, of course, if my client says to me, I don't care, I'll take the 250, even though we're asking for 750, the case is settled for 250. Every offer that's given, I'll tell the client that's the offer. Do you want it? And if they ask me for my advice, I'll tell them my advice. If they say just try and negotiate it for as much as you could get, I don't want to go to trial, I'll negotiate for as much as I could get without going to trial. I'm not going to tell the carrier we're not going to trial, because that's going to decrease my leverage in negotiating. But I'll try and negotiate the case if that's what the client wants and just settle quickly. I'm working for the client.
Right.
I work a community, the motorcycling community, and a bad reputation will go around the world twice before a good reputation gets its boots on. So I've managed to keep my good reputation in the motorcycling community because I do the right thing. I'm going on I mentioned I'm riding on the 8th. I'm speaking to 30 motorcycle clubs. You can't run a billboard
wow.
to get yourself into these clubs.
Yeah.
It's because they know me and they know that I'm a man of my word. And I work hard at what I do.
Wow.
So that's I think that's an important thing when you're looking at the value of a case is, number one, does the attorney know what your case is worth based on experience? And number two, can he get you what your case is worth? And number three, is he willing to put in the hours to get you as much money as possible, as quickly as possible? Because most riders don't want to wait for their money. They want it wrapped up quickly. And that's something that we try to keep in mind for every client.
Right. So just kind of circling back, like in terms of like medical and being able to predict or plan ahead, is that what is called a life care plan? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay,
is that how you kind of factor in the numbers?
Medical expenses are a big part of what a case is worth.
Right.
The problems that go into someone's life after a motorcycle accident are typically medical bills, loss of earnings, and then future limitations, and all those go into the value. So typically,
right,
if somebody has $20 in medical bills, or somebody has $200,000 in medical bills, it's pretty easy to figure out which one's probably the bigger case. Right. If you only had $20 in medical bills, what's going to happen to you? oh, I bought an ace bandage. That's not much. On the other hand, if you have a hospitalization with surgeries and you got 200,000 medical bills, most likely the case is more substantial.
Right.
Loss of earnings. If somebody can't go to work for 2 days, or somebody is out of work for 2 years, the loss of earnings indicate the bigger case. Now, some people say, oh, well, I had to go to work because I needed to pay my mortgage. If your injuries are bad enough and you got tubes coming out of your body,
Yeah.
even if you have to go to work, you can't. If you got tubes coming out of your body and you're in a hospital bed with monitors beeping,
Yeah.
you can't tell your boss, listen, I'll be there on Tuesday for that roofing job. No, I know it's going to be cold out, but, they're going to give me a coat and a blanket at the hospital. Doesn't work like that. Even if you have had a mortgage payment, honey, I know the kids need clothes. I'll just take out these tubes and we'll unhook this monitor and I'll go back to working demolition.
Mhm.
If your injuries are bad enough, you can't work no matter what bills you have. And that obviously makes the case worth a greater amount.
Right.
And then lastly, your limitations. If you can't walk up a ladder again because you can't move your hips, well, and that's what you did for a living, and that injury's permanent, obviously the case is worth more than if, now I can go back to work climbing those ladders, but at the end of the day, I like a hot chocolate now. What is these things? That's what we have to look at.
Yeah.
Number one, the medical bills. And it's not the medical bills just today. You mentioned the life care plan.
Yeah.
Some people with injuries that are going to require care for the rest of their life. And then we have to have an expert, a doctor, put together a life care plan to talk about what the cost of that's going to be over life. And then we have an economist talk about the increasing medical expenses over life that can be reasonably adduced based on the care plan put together by the doctor, and that becomes the life care plan that we can put a number on, and that can be part of the case. But it only happens if there's permanency to the injuries, because if there's no permanency to the injuries, you took off your ace bandage and you're fine, then you can't say, oh, but maybe when I'm 70, I might go back to the doctor to have this looked at.
Yeah.
Unless you're 69 and a half and the doctor said you got to go back in 6 months, that doesn't work, because a doctor has to testify as to your future medical cares within a reasonable degree of medical certainty. And it can't be just your idea, well, who knows what I'll be like? Who knows if you'll get hit by a car tomorrow?
Right.
But you need a doctor to say this is what he needs within a reasonable degree of medical certainty. And that's the life care plan you were talking about.
Right. Well, that's a lot of great information, Mitch. I know there's many writers, including myself, although I've gotten an education since being here, but this definitely helps out. Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the expert himself, Mitch Proner. If you need our help, please call us 24/7 at 1-800-321-1234. All consultations are free and confidential. That'll wrap it up for now. Thanks for tuning in, and whether it's on our podcast or video broadcast, we really, really do appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, share, and please subscribe to get the latest updates. Now, before we go, Mitch, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, if you want to know the value of your case, don't talk to your neighbor who says, oh, I know. Get in touch with an experienced attorney, and contact us, as Mel mentioned, is always free and confidential. So good luck to you. Thank you.
Good luck to you. Thank you again, Mitch. And thank you all again for checking us out. And remember, we ride just like you. Thanks again, Mitch. We'll see you.
Take care.